Hi, my name is Valery. If you don't know me, I have been in real estate for over 20 years, and over the last 5 especially, I have been noticing a lot of my friends and family and clients that are dealing with transitioning. A lot of the time it was, a widow that found her house too big, or um, like just in those in between years a little bit. And I've just noticed it picking up more and more. And they say it's getting to be that way all across the nation. And I'm finding that since I'm 57 and trying to see about retiring here in the next 3 to 5 years, I just want to see, what all my options are out there. I've helped clients for so many years dealing with transitioning and downsizing, and they just don't know all their options. And I find that families are also dealing with that when they have a loved one that needs to either move in with them or go to a nursing home or just downsize because the house that they're in is just way too big. What I find a lot of the times is people in their late 50s start realizing their kids are just getting married in their 20s and getting ready to have children, and their parents are in their late 70s, early 80s, and they're trying to help them and help the kids, and they're just kind of stuck in the middle. And it's just getting more and more like that, I think, as like us Gen Xers are dealing with. And so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and see if anybody else is feeling this. I know a lot of realtor friends that are feeling it, and just talking to my girlfriends and families and dealing with it ourselves. We just built a house down the way for my in-laws to come move in and stay with us, but not, feel like they have their own place and not be in with us. And it was during COVID, and it took us 3 years to build just because it took so long with the contractors to give us a bid, and then to get them there because everybody was building at the time. And in the meantime, my father-in-law fell last year and didn't make it through the next day or two after that, just from the fall. He was ailing already. He was 80 and just getting ready to celebrate his 81st in a few months after that. And it was just very sad. It was the whole purpose. My husband wanted to take care of him and wanted to take care of his mom, and we just felt like it took so long to do this. And they'd done everything right. They had, traveled for the last 20 years. They'd go away and do some snowbirding and stuff, but they just didn't know all their options either. They had a house that they had downsized, but we just felt bad that he didn't get to be there. And my mother-in-law's thriving and doing fabulous. She's 80 and looks amazing. She's still doing trail rides and with her mules and taking her big RV and just enjoying life. She was a caregiver probably for the last 3 years, and she was a retired nurse, so that came very natural to her. But now she's finding her new, and I know a lot of my clients are feeling the same way. And then all my friends are feeling like they're trying to help their parents do the same thing. A lot of their parents are turning into widows, and it's just that adjustment in those in-between years. And I just wanted to get on here and talk, and I'm going to be kind of get a list together and some resources for people because they don't know all their choices that they have. They don't know what all their options are. And a lot of times they don't realize legally you have to have stuff done for your parents 5 years in advance of needing them to go to any kind of nursing care or nursing home, just because the government thinks you're hiding stuff if you don't have it done ahead of time. So there's a lot of legalities that people don't realize, especially even getting the house titled right and put into a trust or a will, because otherwise they get stuck. We have a lot of houses here in Hutchinson, Kansas, where they can't sell them because they're not the legal owner of them. Title work is all messed up, and so a lot of these houses become vacant and empty and dilapidated. So going to talk about some of that. We're going to get a list together of things to think about and help to transition, even for my age, just realizing, we have a big house that we raised a family in for the last 18 years or better. I had a daughter that just moved out, and so we have a guest room. Just lots of transitioning, and I just want to be the source of the source for you of some ideas to be thinking about. I have had clients in the past that stay in their house too long. They didn't mean to. It just comes up and they just didn't even think about it. But they don't use the upstairs anymore and they don't use the basement anymore. And, something happens and they didn't realize there was a leak upstairs in one of the bathrooms that's been flowing down, or the toilet was leaking and it caused a lot of issues. They just start doing so much that they don't realize the house is just too much for them anymore, and it's getting deferred maintenance. Nobody's going in the basement. There could be flooding down there that nobody knows about. So just things to think about. So I want to introduce myself and just let you know that I'm going to be working on getting some lists that you can holler at me, DM me, and ask me for some things to think about for yourself, for your family members. I'm also going to be helping out my 20-year-old something daughters that have grown up with me in real estate, and what they are doing to help cover some expenses since everything's getting so expensive. So I know I'm rambling. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I'm thinking about and introduce myself and see if it's something that anybody else is dealing with right now too. If you have questions, you can DM me or put in the comments what you'd like to see and what you need help with. But I hope this helps. I hope you'll tune back in and kind of see some other options and things that I'm thinking about. But we'll just kind of go from there. Okay? I'll keep it real. Thanks.